And I still, in my mind, can picture him laying on her bed in the hospice, holding her in those last days. I always thought my father would live forever. When he reached 90, I hoped for 91. When he reached 91, I hoped for 92. And to keep it going. About 2 months ago, I interviewed him and he said he would take 100 and then see what happens after that. Well, my father made it to 97 and had a life of such personal happiness that should be the envy of all of us. He never became rich in the world of money, but he was rich in life. People genuinely love Stanley Rosenberg. I can't begin to count how many times people ask me, "How's your dad?" And they would tell me stories of his friendship and how they met and what Dad had done for them. Like this young man right here. In 97 years of life, I never saw him angry or curse except one time at the infamous Jerry Heyman event. No matter what challenges came his way, he met them with determination and resolve, always making sure his family was well taken care of. He took me to my first piano lesson at age 7 after patiently waiting for 2 years for an opening with Margie Murphy. He waited on the porch during that first lesson to make sure I did okay, and I liked it. I mean, he'd waited 2 years for this moment. Dad always enjoyed talking about how he took me to that first lesson. And when my father saw that I enjoyed piano lessons and needed a piano, he decided to take a job as a traveling shoe salesman so he could afford that new piano. And that piano is currently in the home of Rachel and Mark, currently being used by Braden and Eli. In the 4th grade, I decided to join the band and play saxophone. Well, my dad couldn't afford a saxophone, so he reached out to an instrument distributor, telling them he wanted to sell musical instruments in the family shoe store, and that he wanted to start by offering saxophones. Of course, the only saxophone he purchased was the saxophone for his son. He would do anything for us because my father, being raised in the Depression, being forced out of an apartment after apartment in Brooklyn because they couldn't pay the rent, made him sure that he wanted his children not to suffer the same. So as the years went on, I watched how my father handled his life, how civic duty became an important part of what he did once he retired from traveling on the road, how he became a Mount Sterling activist. There's no doubt this is where I picked up my love of community activism, and knowing how fulfilling it is to help others, now I can fully understand how this part of my father's life was so important to him, how personally happy he must have been. And all that led him to run for city councilman, and he won. Sorry, Dad, when I tried, I lost. His later years, the last 15, were spent with 2 incredible friendships. One with his girlfriend, Ruth Lowy, and the most amazing friend a person could ever have in life, Neil Bard. It does my heart good to know that those last years of his life were so complete and full of joy. Neil, Ruth, and Stanley. What a team for 15 years. What a miracle they found each other. It was also such a feeling to watch my father's face when showing him the pictures of Parker and Jack, the children of Dara and Alex. He loved his 4 great-grandchildren so much. On my father's final moments before he's laid to rest, I can only say the words repeated so often throughout history to my most wonderful father. I love you, Dad. It's hard to imagine being in this world without you in person to talk to and do things with. But your memory and the memory of my mom will forever be with me. Thank you, God, for giving me the best parents anyone could ever ask for. And for now, my last goodbye. Bye, Dad. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I want to say